really getting punished by Emo, but he only has to deal with this so much longer. 3-minute bounty runes are going to be coming up, then 4-minute, another refill on the bottle. They're going to try and bait in Emo. Crit rotated over, fed us out to Abed. That'll kind of help things out a bit. JT, ooh, they actually killed Fly. And Kaka snuck behind. That was Crit's courier though, so I thought maybe it was going to be Storm Spirits. Not the case.
Proven that talking to plants helps them grow. Speaking of growing, this net worth lead for EG will continue to expand as they get them in tower, but a big glimpse.
Pull back into the Static Storm. They're going to try and bring down the Tide Hunter, not let him cast any spells, and they do manage to do so, but it costs them their Phoenix, which Abed did manage to get the execution on and still has plenty mana to be able to jump away. So can't do anything about that, can't do anything about their tower dying. That like go for the throat moment. Are they going to have to be a bit aggressive? Oh! That was sick. I want to see that one again if we can. Kaka does still have the supernova. He's going to be able to get it off. Crit forces it out, but as they come back, Ollie trying to hide away under the arena. They're going for the supernova, and they get it ever so barely. Abed turns around, but the Orchid onto TA will not stop him a whole lot. He's going to be able to just blink to the side and then re-engage onto Ice here, who should be run down. No. Okay, that wasn't the spear. Trying to jump him. Static Storm laid out. That'll allow them to be able to back away. Not sure if they can go on this Tide Hunter or not. Emo's going to have a poke here. They go for the spear. The Ravage going down almost immediately as the Kraken shell, but look at that fast blink from Emo. He leaves JT behind, but he did not get caught in that stud, and that means Evil Geniuses, they have to run. They only got the Mars for that. Jump forward from Kaka, but everybody else on Evil Geniuses, a lot of mobility to get in and out of these team fights, both game one. All options here.
You have Oracle, like this troll will stay fully tree and you know there's no glyph.
Yeah.
Although she's very alone.
The only reason not to is because the glimpse the arena locks him out a little bit. He's going to be forced to use his BKB, and Fly's going to be left behind. Arteezy, having popped the BKB already, needs to be able to get away with it. Turn around the Ravage. Wukong's command out, and the TA and oh jeez, the Mars, they just stumble into a death trap there from Evil Geniuses.
Yeah, he had the BKB, not enough time. Ice. That spear latches. It doesn't. If that hits tower, he's just dead. And look at the rest of EG. Everybody's coming late. There's no crit. There's no Abed. They probably just watch Arteezy die twice, if so. But instead, they do get the turnaround. JT, been a bit off. Missed a couple of big spears so far this game.
Look at this initiation. Kaka has done this twice now. That last fight, where you were talking about, if the spear lands, the troll would die because Kaka dives forward and yules the...
Making a little noise. Sound the alarms, force some TPs. They do just that.
Rattle the sabers, as a good old boy of Dota 2 once said.
Crit.
They're going to jump forward. Do manage to catch a nice Ravage onto 2, but Crit stuck inside the Static Storm is going to die, and there was no damage to follow up Ice because the arena blocked out Arteezy. Now they go for the Supernova. They're going to try and focus it down real quick. They should be able to do so. You can see JT trying to pull the projectiles off. Not the case. Fly jumps in, does manage to kill Fly, but at the same time, Arteezy was given the false promise. That gives him back up to full health and enough to be able to kill JT, but a final spear on his dying breath locks down Arteezy and allows Fly and Emo to be able to get these kills and clean up potentially. Ice. Good read. Blinks into the enemy base. It goes off with the Glimmer Cape, and now Ice is committed, hoping to be able to take away the agents. It's on the ground, JT picks it up. That's not what they intended. Abed, a little bit of HP and a little bit of mana, is able to jump outside the Roshan pit while Arteezy is in, and Arteezy is dead. 60 seconds for him, and now the supports are going to be caught as well. Crit realizes it, throws out the Wukong's command just to survive, do some damage, but ultimately there is no threat there to IG. 5,000 net worth up in this game too, Kyle, and looking like they might just take a 2-0 against. Interesting. To get rid of minus armor from Gush.
Whirling axes.
Whirling axes. Oh, okay, that's a really big one. You're right. Arena onto 2. Crit is able to jump away. Not caught at all. Ice. Very likely left to die here. Arteezy does manage to get a bash there on a Fly. Fly turning into the Monkey King to stay on top of Crit, and Crit taking damage from the tree as Fly perched up there in ranged form, ranged morphling. able to lay the damage, lay the waste to those below. He does go all in for the Aghanim Scepter.
I dig it.
So Abed recognizing that this may be a rather dire scenario and backs up against the wall. What does Dota Plus say? 10% chance for Evil Geniuses. Sounds about right to me. They're going to lead off the site. Onto the Trolls. Static Storm as well. No save. Fly could not get off the false promise in time, and that, Kyle, is 3 heroes dead with no buyback. Maybe a fourth. Fly's going to be pulled back by the Glimpse, and they're just going to run down the game. GG called. IG. A sick game 1, but just a clean clinic of a game 2 by them as they managed to bring down EG. Again, grand finalist 2 times this season, brought down low by the Singapore Major Champs.
And just no redemption to be found. Like, well done, IG.
Yep.
That was just straight up outplay. I think the supports, from what I've seen,